heart. Let me correct that. Food is the way to a human's heart, regardless of whether it's a man or a woman, of any ethnicity or from any country or wherever. As you can see from my attire, I'm a Newar, a proud Newar. But every time somebody meets me for the first time, they would ask, "Are you from outside Kathmandu? You really don't have the accent of Darjeeling, Pradhan, but maybe from Pradhan or other place, but not Kathmandu." Because the first perception that anybody that I meet usually has is that I would have an accent of saying maybe Tabarai Chicha or something like that. I can't even do that intentionally. That really bothered me when I was a kid. I used to think, like, should I have learned to speak in Newari at home so that I would have an accent and an identity that matched what people expected me to have as a Newar? But then, there's one thing that always binded the people that I met, and it was the food. Newari food has always been liked by anybody I met. You may not like boftrella, but you will definitely like maybe yoguri. Even momo can be taken as the Newari momo, the Newari style momo. Chatamari, bara, way, palm. I see your heads nodding. And I know that regardless of what your perception of a Newar might be, you definitely love one or the other Newari food. Now, growing up, I grew up in a very typical place, that is Kilagal, which is in the heart of Kathmandu, just outside the perimeter of Kathmandu Dara Square. My family has our own agun. Now, when we talk about agun, that's where all the pujas happen. Someone asked me what kind of puja happens in a Newari agun. Newars actually practice tantric form of Hinduism. So the culling of Ranga, that is the buffalo, the practices that goes on with the food that is involved in the practices of all the pujas that happen within the confinement of a special puja house itself, which is very sacred. And the pujas are done by Newar Brahmins. That is something that most of the people don't realize. We had our own Kumari. So when in ISC, or grade 12 equivalent, we were learning about cultures, about the culture of how Kumari is selected. I knew that already because most of the families that come from families like mine already have a selection of Kumari every time that the other Kumari is not fit to become a Kumari anymore. So a girl, young girl, who hasn't menstruated yet, is brave enough to withstand the different sounds and the dark room that she is put into and doesn't cry, doesn't have blemishes, is chosen as a Kumari. Now we have a special ritual during Dasai on Tika. We don't go to the Darbar Square Kumari Hut for our Tika. We don't get our Tika done from the eldest person from the family. We get the Tika from the Kumari that has been selected for us in the Anganche. We are not supposed to look at the Kumari in the eye. If we look at the Kumari in the eye and she gets angry, then something bad would happen to us. So we never dare to look at the Kumari in the eye. Now that's something that I felt was very different from others. And this upbringing that I had, where I always knew that there are tantric pujas that's going on. We have our own Kumari that we would worship. Maybe a little different. And when others, even other Newars, would talk to us and would not understand that we really don't put tika from our elders. Our grandfather is not going to put tika on us. My father is not going to put tika on us. They were always surprised. Even if somebody did put tika, it would be an elder female who would be put tika on us. But always the similarity that was there with other Newars also was the bhoj that we would have during Dasam. The bhoj would have the beaten rice, vegetables, the meat, the chwela of course, the bana of course, the alutama, the alto, that's what we say. And that always binded us together. Now another thing that bothered me when I grew up much later is that there was this tag that was put on Newars. Newars only have friends who are Newars. If you look at my post yesterday, you will realize that I have a northeast bound friend. I have a Marwari friend. I have a Brahmin friend. I have a Kshatriya friend. I have Newar friends also. We are thick as we are very, very close. But the idea has always been that Newars will only be friends with Newars. They will stick together only with Newars and they'll speak Newari whenever they speak. Has bothered me and has been a hindrance in my becoming friends with others. But I think the reason we come together is also because of the food that we share together and the love of the food and drinks that we enjoy together. So my friends, whatever the culture you're from, whatever the culture I'm from, do try to understand where we come from, and we'll always be together because of the food. The food is the food that matters.